bustling city where buildings touched the clouds and cars zipped by in a blur, there was a quiet little street named Willow Way. At the end of Willow Way, an old, forgotten house stands, its creaky gate and overgrown yard whispering stories of time gone by. The house stood in the middle of overgrown trees and shrubs. No one ever paid attention to it. Everyone always walked by, unbothered by the overgrowth. No one thought anything good would ever come of it. Despite the house being in the middle of the city, no one ever seemed to notice it. One day, a curious young girl, Sunny Sparks, moved into the neighborhood. With bright eyes and an adventurous spirit, Sunny saw something others didn't: a patch of potential amidst the overgrow. Determined to grow something like, in her science lesson, she pushed open the gates. Peas were her favorite, and she thought that if she could just grow some apples and peas like they had done in school, she could provide a balanced meal for everyone. She cleared away the weeds, discovering rich soil beneath. With excitement, she planted seeds of all kin: sunflowers, tomatoes, basil, and even a tiny apple tree sapling. She did it just like in her science lessons and was sure they would all grow just like they did in school. As days turned into weeks, green sprouts peeked through the earth. This got her even more excited. She looked at the seedlings and saw hope. They would not have to buy vegetables again. As weeks went by, all she had grown sprouted and looked as healthy as can be. Neighbors began to notice. Mr. Thompson from next door was the first to notice and was amazed at the efforts of little Sunny Sparks. He offered his watering can, and this made Sunny's work way easier. Ms. Rivera brought over some compost and was kind enough to show Sunny how to use it. Children from the block came to help, their laughter filling the air, excited and enjoying the work they were doing. Laughter filled the air as they all worked together to transform the forgotten space into a vibrant community garden. The once forgotten yard transformed into a vibrant community garden. Butterflies danced among the flowers, bees buzzed happily, and the scent of fresh herbs wafted through the street. As the sun dips low, the neighbors of Willow Way come together in their shared garden, bathed in the warm, golden light of the setting sun. Every so often the neighbors gathered in the garden. They shared stories, looked after the vegetables, and even harvested some of them together. They would sit in the evening sun to celebrate the magic they had cultivated together, their spirits as vibrant and alive as the garden itself. The local school started composting, and families began growing herbs in window boxes. It was no longer just a hobby for Sunny Sparks and her friends, but an opportunity to bring change in Willow Street. Their teacher started teaching about gardening, not just for science lessons, but as a lifelong skill, emphasizing that you do not have to be old to bring change. Sunny Sparks had sparked an idea that transformed the city through all the vegetables and flowers people had planted all over the streets. The once a concrete city had turned into a breath of fresh air, with trees and plants of all sorts. Even the mayor visited and was inspired to turn other empty lots into green spaces. He stopped at the forgotten house compound, eyes sweeping over rows of thriving vegetables and flowers, once barren, now a spectacle of growth. He was inspired by what he saw. He was even more inspired by young Sunny Sparks, who had transformed an entire neighborhood to a garden. In the garden, a bird flew by with no home and a hurt wing. Sunny knew she had to do something. With the help of Ms. Rivera, they decided to build a nest for the bird on the apple trees. They together collected leaves and twigs and made a house for the bird. Sunny was happy to see the bird fly by a few days later. She was so glad she had saved it. The garden was no longer just filled with fruits and vegetables, but also songs of birds and insects. Months passed, and every day Sunny walked into the garden. She was convinced more than ever that she was all the change the world needed. She was not too little to make a change, and would always remind her friends in school that they were not too small either. She always wondered what the world would look like if there was one Sunny in every street. And this is all she wanted to do: tell all the children that they had all they needed to bring change. 'Cause you are never too small to change the world.